Hello once again from my rooftop. It is Sunday, May 30th. I know what's going on. It's Sunday, May 30th. I'm outside just laying out, getting some sun. The temperature dropped down here a little bit in the last couple days after like a big rain. But yesterday and today were so sunny and perfect. So I was like, well, it wasn't perfect. The temperature had dropped. But today with the direct sun, because it's so sunny, it feels warmer to be outside. So I was like, let me go outside, put on some SPF and get some vitamin D, get a little color and just enjoy being outside, be rejuvenated. I thought they were gonna fill up the pool here at my building, and it does have water in it, but it's not like cleaned out. You can tell it's not ready, even though it's a holiday weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend. I thought that was gonna be the thing to make it happen. I'm enjoying having a long weekend. I really needed it to like de-stress and just take a little bit of time. I have technically 3 days left at my job before I head to New York for next weekend, because we've begun summer Fridays where I'm working now. So Fridays are usually done at 1. I have to take a flight to New York next Friday, so technically my last full day will be Thursday, and we don't have work Monday, so I have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday left. And then next week I'll be getting on that flight to go to New York. So I'll be in New York apartment hunting. I started going on Street Easy, looking at the places that I liked, and you can only schedule viewing so far out. And honestly, some people have already emailed me back and they're like, yeah, let me know when you're like here. They're like, can you come today? And I'm like, no, next week. And they're like, yeah, whatever, let me know Thursday about Saturday or whatever. So I'm doing my best to be proactive because I have a short window to find a place, and thinking about that. But yeah, I will be there looking for my place for the weekend, and then I'll come back. I actually have my first day of work while I'm in New York City. So I'll be away from home, and I have to have my laptop shipped to my friend's house where I'll be staying so that I can get on and start remote work for the first week. Hold on, there's a train coming. I'm gonna get it done, and I'm so excited, and I can't say it enough, and there's gonna be a lot of that. So like I said, enjoying this long weekend. It's given me a lot of time to think and just mentally prepare. I really want to, there was a fly. I really want to continue to grow this channel, you know, produce to the standard that I love on as far as like Instagram content, and really just connecting with people and sharing my life from my perspective, very much the life and times, and taking full advantage of, you know, everything that's going on, everything that I'm learning, and being able to share it. So I had time to sit down and write a huge list of like things I want to capture on the vlog while all of these things are happening, things I want to highlight, shots I want to make sure not to forget to get, moments I want to capture, because this is like a big time in my life. I mean, because one of the great things about like vlogging and creating content is you're really aggressively documenting your life, you know. So you guys get to bear witness. I get to have, you know, I get to make sure that like I'm capturing stuff. And there's a word I'm thinking of that I can't think of right now, but capturing these moments and the fun in it, the fun in creating content and really growing it and make it into what I know I've wanted to do for so long. And absolutely will have my 9 to 5. That's what's, you know, in New York, that's the job that I'm starting. But it really feeds into, you know, what I'm passionate about already as far as like content creation. So I wrote down like just some upgrades that I want to make to the style of these videos, whether it be intros and outros, and you know, call to actions on the videos, being a little bit more aggressive about shot lists, being a little bit more intentional about transitions and b-rolls and talking moments and scripts and all of that good stuff. So I don't want it to be a scripted channel by any stretch of the imagination, but I want to be intentional, because it's one thing to turn the camera on and to capture and to share. It's another to, you know, build the skill around editing and really making something that catches the eye and having intention in what I'm doing. So I'm excited about that. I have to pop on here and start this vlog that I don't know where it's gonna go because, oh my God. But I wanted to record this moment because I think that last night while I was looking on Street Easy, I bumped up my budget for my next apartment in New York, for my New York apartment, just $100 a month. And I was like, let me see what opens up for me. And the most beautiful unit in the most amazing building came up. And y'all, I think I've really found the space that I'm gonna be living in, and I'm so excited. I could hardly get to sleep last night. I sent a message late at night. I got a response early this morning, which is a fantastic sign. I talked to an awesome person who is gonna show me through it virtually tomorrow, even though I am going to be in New York physically solely for the purpose of securing an apartment, because I was like, I don't wanna do anything sight unseen, and here I am. I mean, I've seen it, and I feel like it's more reputable. It's similar to the way that I moved into the building that I live in now, where it's, you know, managed by a property management company, and you can tell everything is legit. You know, I think just thinking about it, because I know my way around New York and I can tell the streets and stuff and where things are, I can like make somewhat of a decision, but there's nothing like going and physically being there. So I still am going this weekend. Obviously, I'm not gonna cancel my flight, but I'm also not gonna wait until the weekend to try to secure this unit. She's gonna walk me through tomorrow. She said she has a couple of options, but I'm very much a person who, I'll make up my mind. And if what I want is available to me, usually I'm gonna stick with what my mind has made up. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna show me a couple units tomorrow, and ultimately, if the square footage that I've seen is accurate and the view is accurate, and you know, everything else I've seen that is like really making me excited is the same, I'm gonna stick with the unit that I'm looking at more than likely. And I have my paperwork and stuff together. I have one piece of, you know, thing to get like a reference from my current leaser for them that I have to get together, but bank statements and all that stuff is already put together. So I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk to her tomorrow morning. And I don't like to rush through moments in life, but like these next couple weeks, I'm really gonna have to fight that tooth and nail, because especially having this holiday weekend, I've literally just been kind of like at home, going through workouts, going through the motions, being like, I'm just waiting for this time to pass. I'm waiting to be in New York. I'm waiting to get to this moment. I'm waiting for this pay to come through. I'm waiting for this check to process. I'm waiting for this person to respond to me. I'm waiting for this holiday weekend to be over so that this place is in business hours, you know, and just like the being outside of business hours and the regular workings of like moving forward, honestly, things that are out of my control outside of just being patient and waiting through, I'm tired of that. I don't like trying to rush through months and be like, oh, I can't wait for tomorrow. Like, I want to be in today. But honestly, I'm very excited about tomorrow morning. And if I could see the place now, I would rather be seeing it now. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Memorial Day afternoon. I do have one viewing with another realtor. I made that appointment. I'm going to go ahead and view it. I don't want to, you know, get rid of all of my options. But yeah, I'm doing my best to worry about the things that I can control. And I felt like I had found the place that I was gonna move into, but I think because it's like an affordable housing unit and it has to go through like a longer process, it was gonna take too long anyway from what I read, and then no one was responsive from it. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the unit, I love it, I'm ready. And nothing moved. And I always say, God answers my, I did not originate this phrase, but I heard Kerry Washington once say, you know, God answers my prayers in one of three ways. Yes, yes, but not now, or no, because I have something better in mind. And I was just, part of my email dinging, I was just texting my friend and I was like, God had something better in mind because this place is outstanding. And I cannot wait to be there and create content there and host friends and live and really be in this space. Be back in New York. I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea. So I'm gonna, you know, talk about some things as I go along the process, but I think it'll kind of be something that I'll do once I get to New York to recap what I've done in this cross-country move, because this is my 4th time moving from state to state. So when I graduated college and moved to New York, I moved from Florida to New York. Then I moved from, when I left Florida in 2016, I moved from Florida. When I left New York in 2016, I moved from New York to Florida, and I managed that move and luckily I didn't have to secure a place because I was moving in with family. So there was that move. And when I was moving to New York, I was moving from with family. So that was a little bit easier. And then when I moved from Florida to Chicago, I didn't have to like shut down an apartment situation and a lease and stuff. I just had to set up for here, which is still expensive, but it's one less thing to worry about. And now I've come full circle to where I am leaving one lease that I have to manage and starting a new lease that I have to manage. So I have to manage walkthroughs and, you know, out by dates and getting my deposit. Well, I got my deposit back on other places and stuff. Getting my stuff out, and also being in New York and like starting a new lease in New York, as well as touring there, paying all the stuff, the intro fees and stuff to get their application fees and stuff like that. And then timing my arrival as well as the arrival of my belongings along with work, because I'll be working remotely, and it is July 4th weekend that I'll be getting there, or week. But I have not arranged to take that time off yet. And if I don't have to, I may not. I may not. I know that's a lot, and that may be a little bit more difficult than not, but I can do difficult things. Ooh. And yeah, so I just want to time and make sure, like shutting off electric and Wi-Fi and starting Wi-Fi and, you know, getting set up with electric and stuff. And how many nights am I going to need an air mattress? How many nights am I going to order delivery and not have food and grocery? How many nights am I going to, you know, whatever it may be. So figuring all of that out, I'll probably do like a postmortem of just like, hey, these were my learnings from these 4 moves, because I really don't see myself moving from state to state ever again. Honestly, the plan goes like this, okay? Move to Brooklyn in my first New York apartment. Hopefully I love it. Ultimately, I want to buy my first property as a Brooklyn brownstone. So it's like, move to Brooklyn. Maybe get in a relationship and have a partner and have a baby and need to live somewhere and like put a down payment on a house and it be a brownstone, and maybe renovate it, or maybe it's renovated already. And that means moving within New York, but not state to state. After that, next property will probably be in Florida. After that, probably be like maybe a lake house, or straight to the farm. Like buying a nice plot of land to farm on and like do my Khalees thing. That's mostly the plan. So yeah, this will be the last time that I move all of my belongings without, and have this like transient couple of days or whatever. So saying all that to say, I really think that I found my place. I am so optimistic and so excited about it. I'm so ready, and I can't wait to share it. And I had to share this moment of excitement, and y'all have no idea. I've talked about this before, but I worked and I thought and I planned and I stayed focused for a long time to get to this place. And it has not been perfect, and when things have changed, I've done my best to be flexible and go with the plan, and not with the plan, but go with, you know, things outside of my control, and understand what I can control and what I cannot, and doing my best with the things I can control, having some compassion for myself when I don't do my best, and also, you know, just being there with and for myself when things that are out of my control happen in a way that kind of derails certain plans that I have, and just being like, well, maybe it wasn't meant to be, and going forward. But ultimately, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I keep saying I'm so excited to my friends. Like I'm texting my friends and like showing them this unit and talking to them. And this has happened before where I was just like, I think I found it, and it wasn't it. So I see the place tomorrow. And when I get to New York this weekend, I'm going to go see it in person. And sometimes you get introduced to stuff and you're like, oh, it's never going to be better than this moment, right? It's never going to be better than this moment. Like sometimes relationships, you know, they're like, oh, it's always sweet in the beginning because you don't know anything about the person. It's only the good. And then you start to introduce other stuff. And I don't think that this will for sure be the best moment, but like flaws in the place have not really been introduced to me yet, aside from it being kind of far from the train. But I'm really like basking in this moment of like it being like ideal for me and enjoying it and leaning into it. And I really think that this is gonna be my home. Whew. I'm so excited, y'all. Okay, so yeah, I just had to share. I had to share. I'm gonna go. I'll check back in with you guys later. Hello. So it's Thursday. Last time I checked in, I believe it was like Monday. So much has happened. In leisure time, I did my last Peloton, group Peloton with my work group today. I went for a run yesterday, and then there was a new restaurant down the street from me called Apollonia. So cute. Every time I hear Apollonia, I just think of Prince, and I know it refers to other stuff, but I just thought of Prince. I went, I had some really great food, some really great drinks, a really good time. It was super close, and I wanted to go. Pardon me. So right after my run, I walked over and did that. I did view the unit that I was talking about, and I almost had a full-on anxiety attack, you guys. I'm gonna have to go through and do like just a video kind of recapping this process once it's done. But the leasing agent, who is so fantastic, well, she's great. Just that day, something that was out of her control made it not the best experience. So we were supposed to have a virtual viewing at 9 a.m. 8:30, she texts me and she's like, hey, I'm in the building. I'm like, great. And then she's like, but the signal's terrible. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, you can send me. She was like, so I'll probably just record videos and send them to you. So I was like, that's fine. Go ahead, send them to me. I look forward to seeing them. Send them on over. And she was like, okay, great. I'll get started recording. An hour goes by. My anxiety is through the roof already. And I'm like, okay, hours gone by. And it's like, hey, how's it going? She's like, oh, I have all the videos, but the management hasn't updated what units are actually available, and I wanted a very specific unit. So she's like, you know, management hasn't updated what units are available. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking this might take a couple minutes. Like, it's just, she's like, a lot of stuff rented out this weekend. It was the first. So I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Hours and hours go by, and I'm just like, okay, it's now 2 o'clock, or so, I think around 2 o'clock, I texted, well, we texted back and forth a little bit, and I was like, telling her, you know, I hope the unit that I wanted was still available. I think I had a couple other questions, and she asked me about the listing that I'd seen, because I got the listing off Street Easy, but I also contacted, I think she responded to me contacting the building directly through their site, just because when I saw the place, I was just so excited. So I was like, whoever responds to me first, you know? So I sent her the link, and she was like, perfect. So when she said perfect, I'm like, oh, great, this is gonna be real easy. She can go to them and say, hey, is this unit available? Yes or no? And if not, then what else, you know? So it didn't go that way, and it took too long. I texted her later in the afternoon just because I was so ridden with anxiety. Hold on, a train is going by. Okay, girl. I was so ridden with anxiety by that point that I was like, I need to know an answer, and I want to be polite about it. So I was like, I would love for it to be today, but if it's not going to be today, I just don't want to continue to stress myself out. And I'm worried because the New York, you know, market is very aggressive and very competitive, and I'm doing this remotely, so I'm like, I just want to make sure that I can trust anyone that I'm dealing with. And this doesn't make me feel good. We're supposed to have something done at 9 o'clock this morning, and I'm not getting a whole lot of answers, you know, or at least I'm just like, I was getting some answers, but it kind of felt like, is there anything else that we can be doing? Is there any more information that you'd like to share with me? So I was like, hey, is management updating the units gonna be done today? So I was like, is management updating the units gonna be something that's done today, or should I expect for it to happen tomorrow? Just to kind of see if she had any idea, because if you tell me they have to update something, kind of give me an idea. Because if our plans have gone completely awry and it's going to happen at 5 o'clock in the evening as opposed to 9 o'clock in the morning, I would like to know that, just so I can set an expectation. And I don't know if she knew or not, but basically I texted her, and then like a couple hours later she texted me back, and she was like, hey, I didn't forget about you. I'm so sorry. I've just been running around doing a couple other viewings all day, but now I have the updated list. And I was like, oh, thanks so much. Great. What's available? Where's the list? Don't just tell me you have the list in the videos. And when I looked at the videos later, I think she actually recorded them later in the afternoon when she figured out which units they were. So I don't know. So yeah, she basically showed me the units. Everything was more than out of my budget. It wasn't by that much, but I had already bumped my budget up anyway to find when I found this place. And I was like, you know what, I've fallen in love with the building, and you kind of got me. But the one I looked at, mind you, was not a studio. It was a 1-bedroom. It had a terrace, it had a view, and it was $75 cheaper a month. By the time she updated the units, and it's not that the person did this, but by the time the units were updated, I had a studio with no terrace and no view for $75 more a month. I have taken that unit because I've fallen in love with the building and the idea of being done with the apartment hunting process. So that's where we're at. I'm very happy about the apartment in general, and the building more specifically than the apartment. But yeah, that was like 5 o'clock in the evening, and I'm like going back and forth, and I'm like, these are studios. I looked at a 1-bedroom, and she's like, their promotions were different. It just wasn't great. And like, I know the New York market is what it is. It's aggressive. And like earlier this year when my friends were telling me, you know, the things that they got done, it's not like that because it's summer now and people are moving back. People have gotten vaccinated and stuff. I think if I were moving in fall, I would have a better chance, but it's just the time. But I'm ready to go now. I'm not gonna move in another month, so it's fine. So I'm like, you know, I understand deals are going away or whatever, and I don't have the prime unit, but if I'm in the building, maybe I'll have an opportunity to move to another better unit at a different time once I'm in. You know, I can go talk to the leasing office. So what was I saying? Yeah, so like I had friends who in like December and in January got new places and got like months. They came and the units were like, oh, we're giving 2 months off, and they were like, we want another month off, and we want an extended lease. And when I asked for that stuff, she was almost like, she was like, oh, you know, they're not offering the 2 months off anymore. And then I was like, well, I don't want it. She's like, oh, well, this one has 2 months off. And then I was like, can we ask for more months off? Can we ask for a longer lease? They did not give me a longer lease. My lease is 14 months, but like they did not give me a longer lease, and they did not give me another month off. And I'm like, I don't know how much fight I have in me. I would rather get this over with, and I do like the building and it is within my budget. So I was like, okay. It was outside of the budget that I had anticipated paying, but it was within the threshold of like the recommended amount of like what percentage of your income you should spend on your housing. So I was like, okay, it's still under that threshold, so I'm okay with it. And I know I was being a little bit ambitious. So yeah, I was already, you know, kind of decided on the building, so I've gone with it. I put in my application so we could take it off the market. And basically, from what I understand, I'm gonna go in on, I leave to New York tomorrow night. Tomorrow's my last day at my current job, and I'm gonna finish around probably like 1, and then catch a flight later in the evening, and then Saturday morning I'll be going in to sign my lease, and I have somewhere to live. But it was wild. I had my last couple days of work. I had some assignments, and between the anxiety of moving and the anxiety of like ending this job and making sure I have everything done and just transition, big a lot of transition, a lot of responsibility, a lot of things to manage and think about. I feel like I've been doing well. I got workouts in this weekend. I've been eating well, hydrating, you know, getting outside, spending some time doing something that I like, but, you know, also trying to get what I need done. I'm super excited that this weekend, after all of that, you know, I'm still going to do a recap video about specifically apartment hunting, but I wanted to like catch up with you guys and give you the recap. I'm really happy that I got the spot in the building. I'm happy with all the amenities. I can't wait to walk through and see everything and record and show all of that. I'm going to be back in New York spending time with my friends, and if I have gotten the living situation out of the way, I can spend the rest of those days hanging out with my friends, enjoying the city in the warm weather, being excited about moving back to the city this summer, and starting a new job. So there's that too. So that's another factor, like making these major transitions. Sometimes I'm going to be like, what's easiest right now? You know, it might be a little bit more expensive, but as long as we're not like going way over budget, what's going to make my life easy right now? And after we got through all the riffraff of which units were available and it being a little bit more expensive, ultimately I think I got a place that I'm really going to love and have a lot of great time and create a lot of great times, create a lot of content. The rooftop where I'm at right now is nice. This rooftop is maybe 1/10 of the amount of rooftop it seems like they have, but I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But I'm excited to spend the summer on a rooftop in Brooklyn overlooking the city when I'm not in the city, if I'm back at home, and, you know, drinking and hanging out with my friends and having a good time, being able to host, using the common areas to actually host dinners. I want to have dinner parties and, like, you know, lean into food content and wine content and all of that good stuff, and just being social and in the city. So that's the update for now. It's getting dark. I'm losing light. I am going to enjoy outside for a couple more minutes, but the bugs are coming out. I'm gonna go back downstairs, wind down for the evening, get a good night's rest, wake up in the morning, retwist my hair, do my last bit of work, write my farewell email, and make sure I'm packed and ready to go to New York. And I'll probably check back in with you guys when I'm in the airport or when I'm in New York or something like that. Bye.